Welcome to Wembley Stadium for the 2019 FA Community Shield. This season's showpiece opener features England's first domestic treble winners Manchester City and the champions of Europe, Liverpool.
Honestly, last season we increased the standards, but just Liverpool can handle that.
We all know about Pep, best coach in the world, and it was clear that they will be outstanding.
We have to say thank you to Liverpool because they help us to be better than the last season.
Really important that people don't ask now all the time about not winning or winning things. So now we won something. This is only the start for this group.
They did an incredible season, but we did a little bit better, and that's why we're champion.
And we promised each other already that we will kick our butts next year again. So we will go for everything and we'll see if we get something. That's it.
Well, this is the first Shield meeting between these two sides and only their second clash at the National Stadium. That was 3 years ago. A 2016 League Cup final, the Blues won that eventually, dramatically, via a penalty shootout. Spot kicks could feature again today if the scores are level after 90 minutes as new season optimism permeates the scene here in North London. Well, it doesn't feel like it's been that long since that dramatic Champions League win for Liverpool. Here's their record in the Community Shield: 21 appearances in it, 10 outright wins. And also Liverpool have shared the Community Shield on 5 occasions. Their last win in it was 2006, a 2-1 victory against Chelsea in Cardiff. And the last time they played at Wembley in the Community Shield, they lost 4-3 to Leeds. As for Manchester City, 11 Shield appearances in total and 5 outright wins. A relaxed Pep Guardiola making his way through. Their last win, of course, was last time against Chelsea. Kun Agüero scoring twice in a 2-0 win. We'll take a look now at some of the players that could affect the play today. Plenty of big names. And first of all, Mo Salah, distraught and disappointed with Egypt's exit in the Africa Cup of Nations against South Africa. But 22 Premier League goals last season, followed 32 the season before. And what about the man who lifted that trophy, the Champions League trophy for Liverpool, now in his 9th season with Liverpool? And Jürgen Klopp has named a strong team here. Jordan Henderson, very much part of that Liverpool midfield. If he anchors the midfield, this man anchors them at the back. Virgil van Dijk, 38 Premier League appearances in 2018-19, a crucial, ever-present, and of course, the player of the year as well. Well, Manchester City have named a team, you would say, without a recognised striker. No Agüero, no Gabriel Jesus, they're both on the bench, but a very recognisable goalkeeper in the shape of the 36-year-old Claudio Bravo. He makes his first appearance since last season's Community Shield. He's been out injured in the meantime, the Chilean. Raheem Sterling is the closest thing they've got to a recognised striker. The last time he was here, of course, the romp in that FA Cup final against Watford, and the question about whether or not he'd scored a hat-trick in that game. 17 Premier League goals last season, 5 years as well as a Liverpool player. Both of those then familiar faces, but one new face in the Manchester City side. They're very excited about their new record signing from Atletico Madrid. He was only there for 1 season, 3 goals for Atleti from midfield last year, formerly of Villarreal, and already 7 caps for his country. Well, they're here to enjoy themselves. It was a dramatic title race, one of the fiercest title battles in history last season. But after suffering disappointment on the final day, Liverpool ensured their season was a success by claiming European glory for a 6th time.
It was very special, amazing day, a day that we'll never forget. All the city coming together was, it was unbelievable, and again, it just gives us, more fuel to want to do it again, and it gives us a taste of it to want to get back there. So we're looking forward to the season ahead. It'll be a tough season like it always is, but one that we're excited for and one we feel we can improve on.
While Liverpool conquered Europe, Manchester City were dominant domestically. The Blues will be looking to pick up where they left off last season by winning another trophy at Wembley.
We've been doing really well in terms of winning every domestic competition in England. Liverpool have done well in terms of winning the Champions League and having a great Premier League campaign in which we were neck and neck. I do think there are some very good European sides right now. It's hard to see what sort of state each club's in, but it's certainly a great match between the two best teams from last season. I'd say that we were the two best sides in Europe, but it's now too early to say if we're still the best two teams overall. We'll see what level the two clubs are at the weekend. I think it'll be a fantastic clash between two top sides that have some of the best players in the world. It's at a venue that any footballer in the world would want to play in. And the most appealing factor is that it's a final, which always stokes the fire.
Both teams know that winning a trophy against a key rival could bring confidence ahead of the new season.
It will be a good start of the season, of course, and we just need to go out there and perform to the best of our ability, really, and I know if we do that, then we'll have an opportunity to win. I'm sure it'll be intense. The games that we've played against City in the past have been really high-level games, so I'm sure this will be the same. Another chance to win a trophy, so we'll be giving everything we can to do it.
Well, they look nice and relaxed, don't they? Hoping to put on a real show. And you know, it is a chance to put down a marker for both of these teams, given how closely matched they were last season. Who can get that early psychological advantage? Jürgen Klopp's former club, Borussia Dortmund, beat Bayern Munich in the German equivalent last night. And there was a real sense of optimism after that. Can his current club do likewise? Time to start finding out. Our match commentary team, Stuart Robson, and the first voice you'll hear, Martin Tyler.
So much of last season was about these two clubs, which amassed 195 points between them in the highest class of title race. Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, holders of the Community Shield, of course, one of 4 trophies they won last season. They have christened themselves the 4 Middables, including, of course, both the Premier League and the FA Cup, and as is the convention when that double is done by one club, the second place side in the league is invited here, and Liverpool here not just with that wonderful domestic record in chasing City, but far from empty-handed, winners of the Champions League, and they can claim, Stuart, to be the best runner-up in the top division of English football of all time.
Well, some might say they're the best two sides, club sides in world football at the moment, the way they've gone about their job over the last couple of years. And 2 excellent managers as well. Jürgen Klopp's got that trophy that he wanted to bring to Liverpool. Guardiola once again proving he's the best coach in the world.
Well, City beat Chelsea here a year ago 2-0 to lift the shield for the 5th time. Liverpool well ahead with 10 outright successes and 5 shared. But surprisingly, it's their first Community Shield at the new Wembley. Their last was in Cardiff while this stadium was being built in 2006, when as FA Cup holders they beat the then champions Chelsea 2-1. It's a pretty familiar walk for City. Second home Wembley, really. 5 games here last season, all victories without conceding a single goal, culminating in the 6-0 beating of Watford in the FA Cup final, the biggest margin ever in a Wembley FA Cup final. Been nicely staged, as always, by the Football Association on this day when so many good causes do benefit. And the chairman, Greg Clark, is out there with ambassadors from both clubs, Mike Summerby and Ray Clements. Jordan Henderson doing the honours here. It's always hard to categorise this game, Stuart, isn't it? think for us it's a serious game with a trophy at stake, and we've got Jose Mourinho on our side in that opinion. But I think if you lose, it's a pre-season friendly, isn't it?
I think you're absolutely right, but both sides will want to win this game. They want to set down that marker to say that they are in top form. One or two of the Liverpool players have just come back into action. They might be a little bit rusty, but it's a big, big game. You can see the way Manchester City celebrated winning last year, that they want to win this competition.
Well, it is the first chance to put down a marker that they can possibly do it again. They want to win the league for a third time in a row. That will put them in very exalted company. But of course the Champions League, which Liverpool got from them, is one that they covet too, because they haven't quite done it on the continental stage when they do have the resources to do it. But Liverpool come here as European champions. Both clubs have brought choirs to the pre-match entertainment. They've been singing loudly the respective club songs, and now they will join in the national anthem with the very talented duo who are known as Belle Voci. Well, the strength of both sides, when we get to the lineups, will tell you that this is serious business. Liverpool have only one major absentee, and that's Sadio Mane. Divock Origi stands in, and the other two members of the tremendous attacking three are here. Mo Salah and Roberto Firmino both start, though they've only had 30 minutes each of pre-season match action. It does have a very business-like look to it, Jürgen Klopp's side. Only 5 days, of course, before their Premier League season starts at home to Norwich City. For Manchester City, that remarkable fact that Claudio Bravo plays his first competitive game for the club since the Community Shield last season. He was injured in training shortly afterwards. Vincent Kompany has gone, of course, and fellow defender Aymeric Laporte is injured, so it's Stones and Otamendi in the middle at the back. An official debut for the record signing Rodri from Atletico Madrid, though he has taken a full part in pre-season. And Leroy Sané is still with City, despite persistent rumours of wanting to move back to Germany, to Bayern Munich. We do have VAR on the eve of the Premier League season, which will be similarly assisted from the video assistant referee and his assistant. I think there's a casting vote in there somewhere. It's a lovely, still almost midsummer in England, really, early August. It is an early start, but it is a mouth-watering one. And strangely enough, we're talking about Liverpool not being in the Community Shield since 2006. The referee that day was Martin Atkinson, and he is the referee here again 13 years later. Incidentally, a retro design City shirt, especially for the occasion, their 125th anniversary year, and that reminds you of Colin Bell and Franny Lee.
Tony Book.
Yes, indeed.
And we had Dennis Stewart to that as well.
So it's Klopp against Pep. It's Liverpool against Manchester City. and there's a buzz around the ground, as you would expect. Each of the 2 league games last season had one significant incident. City's Riyad Mahrez missed a penalty which would have given them a win at Anfield in a game that finished level. And there was a clearance off the line by John Stones when the ball, most of it had gone over that line, but not all of it, as Liverpool suffered their only league defeat at the Etihad Stadium a little later in that campaign. And here's Andy Robertson, the fullback so important to the way Liverpool play. Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. It's Joe Gomez in the field alongside Van Dijk, in field from Alexander-Arnold, 2 young England internationals. Zinchenko at left back for City. He seems to have solved the puzzle. And City not shy of playing from the back, and Liverpool not shy of pressing them.
That was really well played by John Stones. He was under a lot of pressure. Just played it at the outside of his boot into De Bruyne, who had made the angle for him.
Zinchenko standing firm against Salah. Salah and Firmino played in a game in Geneva in midweek against Lyon. Liverpool won it. They probably needed a win. They'd been in the USA, hadn't won a game. They went to Edinburgh and played Napoli and lost 3-0. For all the phony war of pre-season, of course. But, rather against the odds, Salah, who's been involved in the African Cup of Nations, of course, with Egypt, and Firmino, who's won the Copa America with Brazil, were pressed back in. And there was some suggestion they might not start today, but they need minutes. The league begins on Friday, of course.
We know that Henderson likes to play out from that, but Bravo hit a great ball over the top there. Oh, Bernardo Silva. Robertson just beat him for pace.
Here is Bernardo Silva, who had a superb game in the Community Shield a year ago, and plenty of superb games since. Kyle Walker with a shaven look that some players adopt at this time of the year.
There's nothing wrong with the shaven look.
They stood toe-to-toe for months in the title run, in the longest run in ever, really, and we waited for someone to blink. They never did, and City just kept that lead. Liverpool kept winning, but City kept winning too. It brought them the title. A truly remarkable campaign, as it was for Manchester City on other fronts as well, domestically.
John Stones is a man that needs a good game here.
That's a good pass.
That was, yeah.
Interesting to see Rodri in action. He's of the Busquets mould in terms of height, and maybe the Fernandinho mould in terms of what City want from him.
There has been talk that Fernandinho could act as another centre-half with a loss of company rather than going and buying somebody.
It's reclaimed by Sterling. And it led to a genuine chance on the burst from Sané. Liverpool caught dallying here.
Gomez takes a touch. He doesn't realise that Sterling's coming in behind him. It's a good pass as well, a good first touch from Sané, but the angle was quite difficult for him.
Really promising start to the, if you like, the competitive side of the game. In by Origi, scored some very important goals at the end of last season, including the one to wrap up the Champions League against Tottenham in Madrid.
Certainly a battle of pace down this near side. Divock Origi, that's his greatest strength. You could say the same about Kyle Walker. Here's the chance again. Good first touch to take him beyond Alexander-Arnold, but probably just got to lift that back across the goalkeeper.
Could Sterling have shot? Weaker foot, isn't it? His left foot's not like his right.
I think he actually got the ball stuck under his feet.
Yeah,
as he was running with it. Now he's going to be under pressure, Rodri.
Real pressure on the super industrious Firmino. He's there again. Rodri. Haven't seen too much of Kevin De Bruyne so far. On the back, of course, of a very poor season last time with injury. Oh. That is superb from Firmino. Short of match practice or not. That's terrific.
What a good first touch this was. Still got a lot to do here. Takes it away from the two defenders. On the half volley, just wraps his foot round it. It's a bit unfortunate, goes straight at Bravo.
Rodri, with one season at Atletico Madrid. Over £60 million, the fee, the major purchase for Pep Guardiola. It's Sané again.
One of the criticisms of Alexander-Arnold last season that he wasn't always aware of danger. And Sané made the run in behind him. Bravo saw it and just kicked the ball straight beyond the fullback. He's got to see that a bit earlier, the fullback.
It might seem strange, but I think the reason that Sané wants to leave, or allegedly wants to leave, is for their footballing reasons, not monetary reasons. There's Bernardo Silva, who's one of the players probably who's giving him problems with regular selection. He is totally trusted by Pep Guardiola, and it seems that Sané perhaps isn't.
There's all sorts of rumours going around. In Germany, they're saying that Bayern Munich wants him, and Sané's undecided at the moment.
Well, there's a big, I think, a contract extension on the table for him at City, so two pretty good choices. Corner for Manchester City. Trying to get Stones round the back. De Bruyne overcooking it. Yeah, you're right about John Stones, who was certainly out of Pep Guardiola's thoughts towards the end of last season. He 3 starts in the last 19 Manchester City games. But he's starting today. Keeping a bit coy on what Laporte's problem is. He had an outstanding campaign.
It's a chance for John Stones. It's also a chance for Otamendi. Many believe he wouldn't be at the club come the start of the season. There's a poor pass from Stones. He's given it away.
And Liverpool are in hungrily, and Mo Salah's in. The kind of chance that you back him to take 99 times out of 100, but he hasn't taken it here.
And the reason Jürgen Klopp is clapping, because that's exactly what Liverpool try and do. They win the ball on the halfway line. The counter-attack is so swift. Really good pass from Firmino. Salah's in behind his fullback, who's advanced up the field. He's just got to try and bend it into the other corner. And that's Liverpool at their very best.
Otamendi, look at this. Claudio Bravo stepping into midfield to use his passing skills again. And troubling Alexander-Arnold again.
Alexander-Arnold has to see that much earlier.
Yeah, he's caught under the ball.
Sané has made that run the second time. He's got him behind him. It happened on several occasions last season with Alexander-Arnold. He's great going forward. He's got great awareness when he's in those forward areas. He hasn't always got that great awareness when he's defending.
Ederson, who sat out the Community Shield a year ago, but I noticed when we showed at the beginning of our programme the celebrations, he was in there holding it up. He'd be hoping to be in a similar position today, although he'd rather be in goal, of course. But he was, of course, away, as was the other goalkeeper, Alisson, with Brazil, winners of the Copa America. Gabriel Jesus scored in that final, was sent off in that final. He's on the bench today. Sané stretched something here.
They've already got the stretcher out for him. Let's hope it's nothing too serious, both for Man City and Leroy Sané.
Manchester City are back in the capital for their opening Premier League game next Saturday, away to West Ham. And Jesus and Sergio Agüero wonder whether they're going to get the opportunity. Of course, it's easy to come on through the middle and Raheem Sterling go wide.
No Mahrez, of course, at the moment.
He's here, isn't he? We've seen him here, but he's not in the squad today.
There are the two front players, Jesus and Agüero next to him. Well, he struggled to get in the side in the early part of last season, after he was actually left out of the World Cup by Germany. Guardiola didn't think his attitude was quite right. But he still ended up having a great season in terms of goals and assists.
16 goals and 17 assists in all competitions. And that wasn't enough to make him an absolute nailed-on regular.
He's already given Alexander-Arnold a really tough time in this first 10 minutes. I think he said, "I can't carry on."
You do find with younger players, they're the ones who want to carry on, particularly they don't really always have the experience to assess what their injury might mean down the road, you know. If it's a tweak of a hamstring and he plays on, 2-week recovery could become 2 months. There's no doubt Pep Guardiola wants him to stay. Sané is off. And Manchester City are in with Sterling. And they take the lead in the Community Shield. And it's the former Liverpool player who just about knocked it over the line.
Well, when we see it again, you'll see that Mo Salah goes back. The rest of the players in Liverpool's back line squeeze up to play offside, and Salah goes back with the runner on the far side of the pitch. And from that moment on, Liverpool were in big trouble. Here it goes again. Watch Mo Salah. Starts to go back in now. There's the header back across, the little flick. And a decent finish from Raheem Sterling. David Silva it was with a clever flick. Henderson couldn't quite get there, nor could the goalkeeper, Alisson. Just can't get his hand down in time.
So the domestic kings are in front against the kings of Europe.
The goal they scored when they were down to 10 men, Manchester City.
Gabriel Jesus is now on for Sané, and Liverpool had totally switched off. Well, Sterling who got 2 goals here in the FA Cup final, joined by Gabriel Jesus, who also got 2. That was the dispute over the hat-trick, wasn't it, whether Sterling had got 3. It was given to Jesus in the end. Not until a couple of hours after the game was finished. Robertson gives it away. Well, there's been no denying the attacking intent right from the off for both of these notable teams.
That was his last bit of action as the centre forward. He's now gone out to the left-hand side. Raheem Sterling. Jesus playing through the middle.
Strong header forward by Otamendi, met by Robertson. Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne has got in here. Sterling getting into the box from that wider position. Liverpool don't clear it very well. Here's Rodri. Now Stones. De Bruyne too close to the goalkeeper. Ooh, and one Brazilian, little knock against the other. Alisson still has to throw out, but throw out of play.
It was really good play up until that final cross.
He was annoyed with himself, De Bruyne, because he can do better than this.
Robertson has to back off. He can't just face the ball. He must realise that De Bruyne is running in behind him. Had 2 to aim for. Good spell for Man City.
They've been away in the Far East. Bernardo Silva. Not quite get it, but they're not for the want of trying.
Man City certainly know how to break this offside line that Liverpool are trying to play. Big diagonals. Robertson and Alexander-Arnold don't want to go in behind their centre halves, but at times they're going to have to.
It's a decent ball by Henderson. Salah dropping in behind Zinchenko, and he's past Zinchenko again, the Egyptian. And there's just enough of Claudio Bravo covering that near post. The fullbacks haven't started with the flying colours, have they?
No, Zinchenko lost the first hit and then went on the wrong angle to Salah. He actually hits the outside of the post.
Yeah.
It's the second time he's gone into that near post area rather than trying to bend it across the goalkeeper.
It is an appetite-whetting showpiece, it's called, but is a showpiece at the moment. Both sides very much on show in the attacking side of their game. But it makes us count the hours to the start of the Premier League on Friday.
I know you and I have watched a lot of pre-season games over this last few weeks. Some of them have been absolutely excellent in terms of their intensity. Played in front of big crowds. Players want to perform, and that's what's happening here.
Well, if it's not a 52 week of the year season, it's probably 49. Walker, and of course the pre-season for both these clubs involved commercial ventures. The managers can't stop that really, although they perhaps would like to. But the widening of the appeal, certainly Manchester City are probably playing catch-up to likes of Liverpool and Manchester United in that worldwide sense. It's vital to raising the kind of money that pays the wages for these millionaire footballers and managers. And here is De Bruyne, wanted too long. Another chance on the follow-up for Manchester City and Raheem Sterling. And Alisson suddenly finding himself a very busy goalkeeper.
Well, the best passer on the field in this first period of the game has been Bravo once again. Big diagonal, targeting Alexander-Arnold. That time it was Jesus who got in behind him.
Sterling. David Silva. Stones. 1-0 to Manchester City. In a very attractive start to the Community Shield. Sterling with the goal. The nice thing about that goal, Stuart, and we're a little bit set in our ways, and I'm sure the viewers are as well. We didn't even think VAR, did we?
No.
And if it comes in when we do think it, and when the supporters think it as well, it will be an addition to the game. There's no doubt about that. But it's not something that can meddle with the game. That's a personal opinion. I'm not putting words into your mouth.
Well, it would have been looked at because it was a goal, but didn't hold up the play. Everything was okay with it. It was actually very well worked by Man City when you saw the replay.
Yeah, the 10 men, the 9 outfield players of Manchester City. And here is Bernardo Silva, David Silva rather, trying to come in on his left foot. Said it's his last season with Manchester City. What a servant he's been. Walker. Bernardo Silva. Headed out by Gomez. Had a couple of moments on the counter-attack, quickly involving Mo Salah, is trying to beat Otamendi to this. The South American has other ideas against the King of Egypt, football-wise anyway.
Jürgen Klopp just talking to his two centre-halves. At the moment they've been totally outplayed in the wide areas, Liverpool.
Were you perhaps noting that Fabinho's not dropped in as much, which is very important with the way they use their fullbacks in their attacking sense?
Well, their fullbacks hasn't been a problem that they've been getting forward too much. They just haven't seen or been aware of balls played in behind them. Robertson twice has been ball watching as De Bruyne has made runs in behind him, or Bernardo Silva's made a run in behind him. Alexander-Arnold hasn't seen 3 balls from Bravo go over the top of his head. So I don't think it's Fabinho's problem. I think it's the two fullbacks that just haven't been good enough defensively.
Here's Henderson. Alexander-Arnold and Robertson setting all sorts of records. Premier League assists last season. There's finger pointed at Liverpool's midfield from time to time, saying it's not particularly creative, but the fullbacks have made up for that. They haven't needed to be more solid rather than strategic in an attacking sense. Jürgen Klopp's midfield three, whoever they've been. Wijnaldum, Fabinho and Henderson. Here is Fabinho.
Another player challenging this season could be Oxlade Chamberlain.
Who has won the Community Shield 3 times with Arsenal. He's on the bench today. Better from Liverpool until it came to the important final ball, which Firmino couldn't quite time for Salah. Sterling on the run. Gomez is quick and gets across and shepherds it out. London boy, Joe Gomez. Only got plenty of friends and family here.
That's the best of Mo Salah.
Be interesting to see how long they play Firmino and Salah after the 30 minutes in midweek, 30 minutes from the start.
I suppose the good thing from Mo Salah's point of view, he hasn't had to do too much pre-season training. It was only maybe 3 weeks ago that he played that last game for Egypt when they got knocked out by South Africa.
Last week, Liverpool spent in Evian in France, nice place, very nice training camp. Alisson was there doing a lot of work. And Salah and Firmino likewise. You can get the footage these days with the club websites covering pretty much every waking moment for the players. So they got a lot of good work done in that week, as well as taking part in the game. Actually, in the game, Alisson gave away a penalty from the best return.
It's a decent save from him there. Didn't go down too early, as Sterling was bearing down on him.
Forward by Robertson. Met by Stones. Go left here. This time it's Kyle Walker who has the difficulty of full-back defending. Origi, supported by Henderson, made a nice turn but didn't take the ball with him. And Bernardo Silva winkles a goal kick out of it.
Yeah, Henderson hasn't had the best start to the game so far.
Remarkably, Stuart, this is the first of 7 trophies in Liverpool's sights in the months ahead. You can add in the UEFA Super Cup and the FIFA Club World Cup. That's the 4 domestic competitions, and of course retaining the Champions League, which they'd love to do. A magnificent 7.
I think they'd like an improvement on last season. Maybe 2 would be enough.
Yes, I think it would. They're in trouble again. In the wide areas, not make it easy for Van Dijk and Gomez in the middle. Liverpool do go and get it. Manchester City dally on the ball. Salah. Robertson. I think it would have been offside against Mo Salah. Flag didn't go up, but the instructions to the assistants, of course, are not to go too early these days.
Good recovering challenge there. Mo Salah would have been offside. That all started because Rodri lost the ball in midfield. Just don't think he's got up to the pace of the game so far. We saw another player, holding midfield player, make his debut for his debut for his club side last year in this game. Jorginho for Chelsea, if you remember.
He
had
did.
a really torrid time against Man City on that occasion. Kept on winning the ball off him, took too long.
Alisson. That could have been cut out in Liverpool's half and he would have been in trouble, the goalkeeper, but it flew through, cutting the grass as it went. A lot further. Here's Stones. David Silva. And City press. This is where pre-season finds you out, really, because the forward press takes a lot out of attacking players. And of course, teams can start from much even deeper now. The managers will have worked on this, with this ability to take very short goal kicks. Ball doesn't have to go outside the penalty area, one of the new regulations. Fabinho. Liverpool a goal down, but not heads down. Salah. Robertson. Now Virgil van Dijk on the back of an absolutely colossal season. Got the Netherlands to the Nations League final, beaten by the hosts Portugal in the end. Knocked out England in the semi-final. Rodri. It sounds like he should be playing for Wales and not Spain.
I haven't seen a forward pass for him yet. Most of it's been square or backwards.
David Silva finding a tricky pass, actually, under pressure to reach Sterling. Rodri stepping in, with a forward momentum from him. Away by Gomez. I was out in China watching Manchester City as part of that 4-team Asia Trophy. Pep Guardiola and his squad had a real problem with the travel arrangements. They arrived 2 days late, only a few hours before their opening game, but they won their semi-final in that opening game against West Ham and lost on penalties to Wolves in Shanghai. They went on to Hong Kong after that, and then Yokohama in Japan, one of their affiliate clubs, I believe.
In other words, you had a nice holiday.
No, it was hotels, football grounds. Hey, that's a holiday. It was fun. It was a pleasure to watch Premier League teams have a part in the world they're playing. Here's Bernardo Silva, and that's why, with passing like that, Gabriel Jesus wanting it rolled across De Bruyne for the second time, really, not quite being able to put it on the money. Comes the Liverpool counter-attack led by Andy Robertson. Origi. Not cleared, and it comes back to Salah. I think after that first season, when all the goals flew in, has become even more of a shoot-on-sight player.
Origi does well just to get it on his right foot. Stones gets the first and they're in. Zinchenko not particularly good. He tries to take it early with the outside of his left boot. Here's the moment. Gomez and Van Dijk have to see that run. They're facing down the field. Gomez only gets back because he's got great pace. It's his mistake to start with that allows De Bruyne to get in. Again, he can't quite find the right pass.
Perfection-seeking Pep. In a world where, of course, it's impossible, but it doesn't stop you trying. And he gets as close as anybody.
I've seen a couple of Liverpool's pre-season games, and they have certainly had problems at the back. They were torn apart by Napoli.
Yes, they were absolutely. In fact, Virgil van Dijk went across, didn't he, quite publicly to not remonstrate with Jürgen Klopp, but it was a pretty heated exchange between the two during that match. Lovren and Matip are on the bench as alternatives. There's talk of maybe Dejan Lovren moving on before the window closes. Firmino will always be relied on to come back and try and sort things out when it's not going too well for the team. And he did, and he's got a free kick.
First of all, Salah loses out here, but then he does well to win it back off Sterling. Firmino, good turn to get away from the first challenge. Rodri has a go at him, and then Sterling is the player that commits the foul.
Henderson. Not going to get there. Salah, Fabinho, not quite finding the range.
Here's the goal again. There's the first header. David Silva with the little flick, and he does well to keep it down. He doesn't go with his laces, he goes with the inside of his left boot, and it's the height that beats the goalkeeper. Just can't get his foot onto it or his hand down in time.
It is a natural thing for keepers to spread themselves in those circumstances. That means spreading the legs as well, and of course there is a gap. Whether Raheem Sterling was aiming for it, he found it. You always think, he scored so many goals now, 25 was it last season. There's Sian Massey Ellis, who's making a little bit of history today, the first woman official in a Community Shield. She's very well respected on the circuit anyway. This is a special day for her and the women's game in terms of encouraging officials to believe that they can work at this level. She's been absolutely tremendous. I'm sure others will follow her example.
There's the pace of Gomez again. It's a good ball over the top. David Silva was after it, but he was never going to beat Gomez. The trouble is, when you're as quick as Gomez, sometimes you don't read things quite as quickly because your pace will get you out of trouble, and that's been the case in this first half on 2 or 3 occasions. He's not seen the danger early enough, but his pace has got him back into a good position.
It's like tall young players not learning how to jump because they don't need to until it becomes serious, then they can't.
That's going to be a yellow card
for De Bruyne.
I'm not sure what he can argue with here. He say he didn't catch him, but it's a wild challenge.
Always worth a mention when Kevin De Bruyne plays at Wembley. He has family connections at Ealing, which is what, 4 miles from here, I suppose. When he was a boy, spent holidays with various relatives based in England. Well, everyone's human. And Divock Origi.
Yeah, missed opportunity as well. Walker had gone narrow. Switch of play was a good one. He had a chance to run at Walker 1v1 and put himself inside the box.
There have been some decent moments. We saw Jürgen Klopp applauding the way they've sometimes disarmed Manchester City and the counter-attack swiftly, and Salah might have done better with a couple of chances. By Zinchenko. Rodri turning on the power. What about the pass? Well, he goes safe and short to De Bruyne. Perhaps wasn't totally grateful that the ball came to him then.
Rodri had an opportunity to play Bernardo Silva in there, who'd made a diagonal run across the front of Robertson. Maybe he just wants to ease into the game and make sure he gets his passes right.
Here's Sterling. For Gabriel Jesus. One thing about Rodri, if you come back to that because Salah's away, Otamendi's across. One thing about Rodri is if you have a theory about his game, you can go and ask him if you're English, because his English is superb. He charmed us all at a press conference in Shanghai. His first public utterances as a Manchester City player. He used to go to summer camps in the USA, so there's a bit of awesome in there from time to time, but whether he's going to be an awesome player, well, I hope he is for his sake and for Manchester City's sake. But he's a charming young footballer, and he's not shirking any responsibility in this Community Shield. From the back, from the champions.
It's also good play from Otamendi. The position that he took up He realised the ball had gone to Stones. He realised that Bravo was in a left-sided centre-back position. He just made the run into midfield. Good understanding from the centre-back. Now Rodri's just sitting in for him. They'll swap over now.
The laws of the game, which are constantly changing, as we all know, as we have to study them, say that the game is played by 10 outfield players and 1 goalkeeper. They might have to look at amending that. There's never been anything to stop goalkeepers moving out of their penalty area. Sterling, again, just that hint of vulnerability with Liverpool at the back. It's not quite the same at the other end.
Threw himself at that challenge. Zinchenko didn't want it being a 1v1 situation. Got a bit lucky there.
He's been given a new contract. They have brought back Angelino from PSV. They sold a year ago. Who is an out-and-out left-back. Mendy, again not fully fit, but back with the group over the last couple of days. It's going to be a big test for, if Laporte's out for a little while at the start of the season, for Stones and Otamendi. Company didn't play that often, did he? But obviously he finished the season so strongly, and the leadership qualities in the club, not just on the field, be hard to replace. They're still looking for a permanent captain. They're waiting for Fernandinho to come back, I'm told. Firmino's waiting in the middle, and towards him. Otamendi got the last touch, and that's why Walker's trying to prevent the corner, but can't. Corner for Liverpool.
Van Dijk is usually the target for these. Firmino just trying to work for that space. First of all in front of then John Stones, and then trying to nip in behind him. Wasn't a great cross really from Origi.
Origi himself has a good natural spring. Scored a crucial goal at Newcastle very late on in the season to win a game at St James's Park. Firmino's headed a good few as well. It's towards Van Dijk, and it's not sure what the target was from Alexander-Arnold, but it just kept on going. It's a good watch though, Stuart.
It's been an excellent game, an excellent first half, played with good intensity. Both sides have looked vulnerable to diagonal balls played in behind their fullbacks. Both sides have tried to play out from the back. I would say Man City have done it much better than Liverpool have.
Zinchenko. David Silva will be one of the candidates for the captain's role. Maybe slightly against him is the fact that this will be his last season at the club. I think they're looking for a longer-term leader, and that might rule out Fernandinho as well. Guardiola did say when we were in China that the players will decide. I'm not sure that I totally believe that. De Bruyne, well, the flag is up, and whether VAR, that's one of those where if he's proved to be onside, VAR has not worked, or the officiating hasn't worked.
No, I think he was quite clear, the assistant referee, that it was offside. So he wasn't going to mess about there, put his flag up quickly. It was a good decision. Just got to be a little bit careful, Kevin De Bruyne. He kicked the ball into the back of the net.
Yeah.
Having just been booked 5 minutes ago.
There have been a few sent off in the Community Shield in the past. Most notoriously, the very first it was a Charity Shield at Wembley in 1974. It's a disciplinary incident here. Martin Atkinson, who is a referee that doesn't go looking for controversy, I would say. He's very experienced.
Well, the Man City players aren't happy with the challenge here. Nor is Guardiola.
Well, he's already lost Leroy Sané through a foul.
Yeah, Gomez goes with his stud showing, but he wins the ball. I think both players probably go. Well, actually, he goes with his laces, does David Silva. Yeah. Gomez goes with his stud showing. That's what Guardiola didn't like.
But was the ball in between?
Yeah,
in the end.
I don't see there was too much wrong with the challenge.
Stuart Atwell is the fourth official, getting the brunt of Guardiola's complaints at the moment.
It's made worse for David Silva by the fact that he was trying to kick through the ball. So his follow-through was always going to catch.
I think it would
Gomez.
have been even worse if he'd actually caught the studs. My impression was that Gomez got the ball onto the foot, and maybe we'll see it again. It doesn't look as though he's seriously hurt, David Silva, but the protective instincts of Pep.
Animated here as he's telling Carl Walker one or two things. Bravo trying to tell him something, but he's not taking too much notice by the looks of it. Guardiola gets a yellow card, I think.
Yeah. Well, the dugout behaviour is now, this is another thing that's been in place in the Football League, and now it's coming into this level, and it is a yellow card. Red and yellow can be delivered. Martin Atkinson, the man in yellow, says, I've had enough of this ranting, and it was a bit like that, wasn't it? Some of it at his own players, but obviously some of it was directed at the officials as well. Am I right in remembering that it was against Manchester City at the Etihad that he got his marching orders in the Champions League quarter-final? Was that the year before last?
Yeah, I think you are right.
To sit the second half in the stand. Maybe it's something about the team in red that makes him see red in one way or another. Liverpool have got a free kick here for the efforts of Divock Origi.
Does well just to shield the ball away, and then there's the challenge from Bernardo Silva. Now, Alexander-Arnold can really whip this ball in with his right foot. The last one was a bit too long.
A couple of minutes left in the first half here at Wembley. Been fast and at times furious. That's the one they were looking for before, but in heading it back across the goal, it's within Bravo's reach. But what wasn't within his reach, and he's got considerable reach in his distribution, was a quick ball upfield to a forward-running teammate. Great switch of play from Zinchenko to De Bruyne, and back in the nick of time was Jordan Henderson.
The midfield players for Liverpool have had a difficult afternoon so far. Haven't been able to get on the ball very much, but they've had to do a lot of chasing, a lot of defensive work. That was good play from Henderson. Saw the danger, saw Jesus coming round the back. Think of Wijnaldum and Fabinho. Henderson really got on the ball and made things happen.
This could be a big moment in the destiny of the Shield. And Alisson didn't really deal with it. Henderson helped out. Gomez got across and stopped De Bruyne playing David Silva in. Bernardo Silva finding himself at right back. Rodri.
that ball again. De Bruyne would have been in had Jesus not headed it. What a strike that was from Bravo.
3 added minutes, mostly for the attention to Leroy Sané, who had to be substituted after that.
That'd probably be the only disappointment for Pep Guardiola in this first half. The injury to Sané. Let's hope it's not a bad one.
David Silva. I was talking about that first charity shield at the old Wembley. When Kevin Keegan and Billy Bremner, Liverpool against Leeds United, were both sent off.
And it was Brian Clough's first competitive game in charge of Leeds.
It was, and he lasted 40 odd days, didn't he? Liverpool won it on penalties.
If I remember rightly, they both took their shirts off as they were sent off for some reason.
Yeah, I don't think that was added to their punishment then. After all, they were off, so the game was over. There haven't been too many red cards in this fixture since, although Pedro a couple of years ago went for Chelsea. But there is no, unless it's violent conduct, there is no affecting the league fixtures, the official fixtures coming up in terms of suspension. David Silva quick enough to recover when his pass through was blocked. Here's Bernardo Silva. Sterling and Jesus in the middle. Just too high for Gabriel Jesus. Probably with a bit more pre-season under his belt, he might have got to that. Walker. Fullbacks have found themselves swapped at the moment.
Yeah, and that was a problem for Alexander-Arnold. Bernardo Silva, mainly a left-footed player, just swept it onto his right foot and got the crossing.
Zinchenko. Jesus got a touch. Sterling to roll away from Gomez, and he's done that to get his body across and get the ball. Sinewy strength against the bigger man. Walker. Bernardo Silva, they're in behind again, but it's just gone out. De Bruyne again. With a bit more training, he wouldn't have been half a yard short, and Pep Guardiola might have been celebrating instead of rather marching back to his position.
Watch the Van Dijk tries to play offside when he should be getting round on the cover. Henderson should go with the runner as well. That's happened on too many times. Kevin De Bruyne making that little run.
Well, Pep Guardiola's team to lead at half-time. He's picked up a yellow card, the manager, under the new regulations, for protesting about the Gomez challenge. Sterling, the former Liverpool player, got the goal. Mo Salah had a couple of chances to reply for Liverpool. City have lost Leroy Sané, so Kevin De Bruyne is working his way into the game, and it's been very entertaining in many ways in these circumstances. Still a week before the season starts officially. Both teams are putting on a show here in the Community Shield, and Manchester City lead Liverpool by 1-0 at half-time.
So Manchester City lead by 1-0 at half-time in this Community Shield. Let's take a look back at the highlights of that first half, and it started brightly for Manchester City. Had to go off, but Leroy Sané showed all of his quality, but just not quite in front of goal. Liverpool a little hesitant here, a little prone to mistakes, notably Joe Gomez. Good play from Sterling to dispossess, and Sané just found the angle against it. Wonder what that injury will mean in terms of a potential move to Bayern Munich. That will be a plot line for the week to come. Liverpool then responded. Brilliant play this from Roberto Firmino. The shot ultimately straight at Claudio Bravo. He did well though, didn't he, to bring it under control and fire away the effort. Goalkeeper ready though, well positioned. And then Liverpool went even closer. And at this point, they were looking the likelier side to grab a lead. Bouncing through to Firmino, Origi there in support, Mo Salah. And as Martin said in commentary, 99 times out of 100 a chance you'd expect him to take. Just didn't seem to quite catch it as he could have done. Rather dragged it in the end wide of that near post. But then Manchester City did get the lead. Header back across from De Bruyne. Flick was brilliant from David Silva. And once again at Wembley, Raheem Sterling. It's what City do so well. Switch the play, look for space, and then that touch of brilliance from Silva. Sterling there to do the rest, just managing to shovel it past Alisson. 1-0 for Manchester City, on their way at the moment to another trophy. But then to their credit, back came Liverpool. Jordan Henderson with that raking pass for Mo Salah. Ran away from Zinchenko, looked to pick his spot, but again Claudio Bravo there to turn it behind. Outstanding play though from Salah. Actually hit the outside of the post in the end. Very nearly managed to squeeze it through. Then the long ball, looking for Gabriel Jesus. He was on for Leroy Sané. Tried to play it once there for Raheem Sterling. In the end picked out De Bruyne, and it fell for Sterling. And that's a good sprawling save from Alisson. Counts as a good stop in the end, and Sterling slightly frustrated that he didn't do better. And then De Bruyne breaking through. Really intelligent run that, but Liverpool did well to steal it away. Robertson leading the counter-attack. Origi joining in as well. Liverpool pushing for an equaliser just before half-time, and Origi saw his cross poorly defended, and Salah again with a chance, but he got underneath it. So certainly a sense of revival from Liverpool, but still they trail at half-time in this Community Shield. So let's take a look at the statistics from that first half. 5 shots for Manchester City to 4 for Liverpool. Only 3 shots on target in the game. It's felt like a better game than that. 3 corners as well. And Manchester City picking up that 1 yellow card. 58% possession as well. Well, Roberto Firmino with that 1 effort on target, but he's been involved. 11 passes in all, 73% of those completed so far. Don't normally talk about a goalkeeper's passing ability, but 32 passes in open play, 25 of those successful, 47 touches in the game, and just that one save from Firmino that he's had to make. And Mo Salah has come closer than anyone for Liverpool so far. 3 shots, none of them on target, but not far off target, and 93% of his passes completed. And what about Raheem Sterling? He's the goal scorer. He's the man who has Manchester City in front. 2 shots, 2 of them on target. And the goal, of course, 74% of passes completed, but given where he is trying to make them, that's actually not a bad ratio. So 1-0 to Manchester City at half-time, and this new season, always a time for the unveiling of a new kit, and both Manchester City and Liverpool have released new offerings that have a nod to the past, and nostalgia in football kits is an increasing trend. This weekend, Manchester City will wear a 125th anniversary inspired kit, and it follows some iconic shirts that have debuted in the Community Shield.
Right? Oh, how does he do it? How does he do it?
We've got the Manchester United shirt that was worn by Ben Thornley, and I believe this is the first time a Charity Shield patch was used. On the back, it also has this different flock print that they used in European competitions and also the cup games.
All eyes then on this man, the £15 million world record signing, Alan Shearer. Roy Keane, it's 4! He'll be very, very disappointed at the way the afternoon has gone.
In 2005, Arsenal wore this yellow one. This particular shirt was issued to Freddie Ljungberg. In this game, they lost out to Chelsea.
Still Drogba. Was he brought down then by Lehmann? Still Drogba. And somehow he managed to squeeze it in. It's a blistering start for the league champions.
This is the 1981 Tottenham shirt. This was worn in the Charity Shield versus Aston Villa. This number 5 was worn by Ricky Villa on the day. One of the major differences between this one and the replica version is the badge itself is stitched, whereas the replicas was pressed on. The 1977 Charity Shield shirt from Manchester United. This was worn by Arthur Albertson. This was Arthur's quite fetching jacket at the same time. It's a velour material with the game details there. The 1999 Charity Shield saw Man United play Arsenal. In this game, Arsenal and United wore these patches on the sleeves. This one was worn by Luis Boamote, who was a substitute who came on in the game.
Johnson misses. Manchester United retain the Community Shield. They are the Shield Supremos.
The 2001 Charity Shield saw Liverpool take on Manchester United. This is one of Michael Owen's spare shirts. In the actual game, he wore short sleeve.
There was a slip by Stam, and Michael Owen cashes in.
You've got the embroidered game details around the liver bird, and you have the Charity Shield patches just there.
Well, time to start thinking about enjoying the second half to see if Liverpool can fight back. We'll be back soon with your commentary team of Stuart Robson and Martin Tyler.
Once again, please congratulate all of our winners of the 2019 FA and McDonald's Grassroots Football Awards. Please welcome back for the second half, Liverpool! And please welcome Manchester City!
Welcome back to Wembley Stadium. Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, thanks to Raheem Sterling, leading Liverpool in the Community Shield. City had to make one change in the first half. Leroy Sané going off injured to be replaced by Gabriel Jesus. We thought we might get a raft of substitutions at half-time. The 6 can be used for each side on a list of 7 on the official team sheet, but Firmino and Salah have been given these extra minutes here. A reminder that Liverpool start their Premier League season as early as next Friday, 5 days' time. So it's important to get some miles on the clock, I guess, because Sadio Mane not involved today, so the chances are he won't be involved, or certainly won't start against Norwich on Friday. So City with this 1-0 lead get the second half underway. Liverpool have had some problems defensively and caught out in that respect straight away. All the hustle and bustle. It ends as a Liverpool throw. Manchester City were hoping to get it behind for a corner.
You're mentioning that defensive problem that Liverpool have had. It's been the 2 fullbacks that have been caught out by balls played in behind them. 2 centre-halves aren't dropping off, they're trying to play square. There's been space for the ball to be played in between the centre-half and the fullback, or straight over the fullback.
Well, that's what it's called, a risky throw, but in the era of the clubs of this elite level, confident playing out from the back, but they've lost it. Almost couldn't get there. And it could easily have been 2-0 with Gabriel Jesus.
Good play from Sterling. Beats Alexander-Arnold. Jesus with the setup. David Silva just gets underneath it.
Wijnaldum hasn't seen too much of the ball. Salah.
Just looks as though Wijnaldum's swapped sides with Henderson in terms of how they're playing either side of Fabinho. Wijnaldum was on the right in the first half, now on the left.
Van Dijk for Salah's got the drop on Zinchenko and needed Otamendi to come across and tidy up. And now Stones only loops it up in the air. Won by Henderson. A chance for Origi. Deflected into the arms of Claudio Bravo.
Could have gone anywhere. Firmino doing well. Robertson in a forward position. It's a weak effort in the end from Origi. Straight at Walker. We talked about Liverpool having a problem defensively. The player that's had a problem for Man City has been Zinchenko, the left back. That all started because another ball played over the top.
Well, Sterling can go through here and hits the post, and it bounces Liverpool's way. Sean Macielis kept the flag down. It would have, I'm sure, been reviewed.
She kept it down and then put it up when Sterling missed the chance. And Martin Atkinson waved play on. Here it is again. It's a tight decision. He is just offside. So she keeps her flag down, and as he misses the chance here,
went up.
Then she puts the flag up.
Well, it certainly would have been reviewed had Sterling put the ball in the net, and that's the problem for the assistants, because we don't want legitimate goals chalked off by wrong raising of the flag and the game being stopped. So there's got to be a certain amount of give and take now on these tight calls. And I do sympathise with those with the flags, but they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. Anyway, Sterling hit the post. We'll never know whether it would have counted had it gone in, but I think, Stuart, you were spot on. It did look marginally offside, and Sean Macielis did eventually put the flag up.
The referee doesn't have to blow the whistle either if the linesman or the assistant referee puts the flag up. You can just wait and see whether it's scored or not.
In towards Van Dijk, the obvious target. It's Liverpool still seeking an equaliser here at Wembley.
Van Dijk is still up there.
Flicked by Firmino. Starting to look a little bit more threatening. Wijnaldum had the shot that was charged down. He's not a prolific scorer, but he did get one here at Wembley last season in the win over Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League.
He scored a lot of goals for PSV when he was there.
And for Newcastle.
Yeah, alongside Memphis Depay. They were playing for PSV at the time, the two Dutch players who played in the World Cup in 2014.
Bravo is there on the front foot. It's been a very frustrating time for him last season, not being able to participate after winning the Community Shield.
And that was off the back of a very poor first season, wasn't it, at Man City? Certainly had a good game today.
Lovely switch of play between the two Liverpool fullbacks. Wijnaldum, Van Dijk. Dijk has to recover here. He's got the pace to do it. You mentioned Gomez in the first half. That turn of foot to allow a mistake or two. It's charged down by Gabriel Jesus.
Van Dijk's also got the physicality as well. Just looks as though Jesus may get in front of him, but he just leant across him.
Just a reminder, there's no extra time today. We'll go to a penalty shootout after 90 minutes, should Liverpool level it up. Fabinho. Well, I think it's fair to say he's played within himself. On from Henderson, nicely on from Henderson. Salah wins the corner.
That's the danger for Liverpool. Salah in behind Zinchenko. Just struggling, the left back.
Laporte was supreme in the air defensively for Manchester City last season. Lacking him.
They zonal mark Man City. Going to try and block the run of Van Dijk as well.
Van Dijk does get involved. And then calmly back to Bravo by Zinchenko.
It was actually Zinchenko that was blocking the run of Virgil van Dijk. There's the pace again of Gomez, really quick over that 20 yards there.
Robertson. City rather dropped off. Firmino was able to turn. Took a little too long. It's understandable. He'd be treading water really at this stage. You know, the reduced pre-season. Salah likewise, but he's going through. So Otamendi says, "Thou shalt not pass."
Read the situation really well, Otamendi. Two defenders in front of him, got square, which allowed Salah to go between them. He just stepped into the challenge. Liverpool having their best period of the game here.
Zinchenko again, he managed to recover and get a toe to it. It was Henderson who was challenging this time. Henderson goes in to try and win it back. Going to be the catalyst for change for Liverpool here. It's certainly in sustained play, undoubtedly their best spell. Coolly done by John Stones. When is it anything other than coolly done by Stones?
Even when he makes a mistake, it's
coolly done. Yeah.
Or so it appears.
Yes, I'm sure inwardly it's not, but he has the backing of his manager in terms of the way Manchester City want to play. That goes for all of Pep Guardiola's defenders. And it's Raheem Sterling. He's not going to stop that going behind for a goal kick. Good little battle. Alex-Oxlade-Arnold, who is absolutely splendid going forward. His delivery and creating chances. For one so young is of a very high order, but still defensively with a bit to learn.
You and I commentated on that splendid free kick that he scored against Hoffenheim.
He was very early into his Liverpool career then.
Champions League qualifying game, playoff game. Switch of players on for Salah and Alexander-Arnold down this right-hand side.
Make progress down the left with Origi and Firmino. Leads to another Liverpool corner. The pressure is mounting on Manchester City.
He's going to get away from Stones, but once again Otamendi came across, took no chances.
City have won only 2 their past 12 meetings with Liverpool. 3 if you count the penalty shootout League Cup final here at Wembley. The only other time that the two clubs have met in a Wembley setting, 3 years ago. Towards Van Dijk. Well, the goal line technology is in place. It wasn't over the line. Liverpool, Van Dijk now claiming he was held. And they're getting closer and closer. A Jürgen Klopp's team. So near, but so far.
Bizarrely, at that set play, to start with, Sterling was marking Van Dijk. I presume to block his run, but he didn't do that. Let's have another look at it. Comes in, good little volley. Does really well to keep this down.
A little tucked finish like Sterling's goal.
That was close. You see from this angle.
Shades of that moment at the Etihad. Well, we trust the technology. The players, most importantly, trust the technology. All of the ball, remember, has to be over all of the line. It looked like some of the ball was over it. Liverpool on a charge here. Salah. Oh, it's hit the post. And Manchester City have got a free kick. They are creaking at the back at the moment.
They certainly are. Salah does well here, twisted and turning in the box. He only needs a slight touch to go down, but the shot's a good one in at that near post. Goes back between the legs of David Silva. Here's the replay. And as you can see, it's the right decision. The ball is not all over the line.
But some of it was. He'll recall that John Stones clearance when it was certain that Liverpool were going to score, but wasn't, if you see what I mean. They didn't score, and they were had that one Premier League defeat, which in the end made the difference. I say players don't question the technology. I wonder whether Jordan Henderson was questioning that. What you would say with all this technology, Stuart, we have to accept, like with the line calls at the tennis tournaments, there will be a margin for error just because no machine is perfect. And when you see one like that, you think, what is that margin for error? But of course you can't factor it in. We go with the technology. I think the offside calls are going to be very interesting in VAR because no camera can be in perfect in line with every call.
The one we're still going to have problems with is the handballs. There's going to be more and more penalties given in the Premier League this season for handball. There's the foul again. It wasn't that bad. You have a little kick out here. Not really.
Well, that's what VAR is going to spot, and obviously as İlkay Gündoğan comes on, they've decided that it wasn't worthy of telling Martin Atkinson about. But I think players will change their habits. We won't see so much grabbing by defenders in the penalty area,
which is a good thing.
Yeah. I was speaking to Craig Cathcart, who's a Premier League defender with Watford, Northern Ireland International. He said, well, I'm not a grabber, but a lot of them are. And they maybe have to think again.
I think at some point we will see a change in tactics as well from teams. Getting the ball into the box that little bit quicker, rolling it into the front players with their back to goal. Any challenge from behind can be deemed as a free kick or a penalty, as it would be if it was in the box.
There by Walker a little aggressively, and it's heating up again out there, and Walker on the run, and Sterling's away. Raheem Sterling can wrap it up for City here, but too much time to think. Alisson comes out on top. The one or two supporting runs as well, one from Walker himself.
Well, that's what he got That's why he was in two minds. I think he wanted to play it to Walker eventually. Well, the Liverpool fans unhappy because Origi was on the ground when all this took place. Walker won the ball back and started running with it, played Sterling in and then continued his run brilliantly. Here it comes again.
Well, of course, the issue might have been, was it a foul?
Onside.
Before, was it onside or not?
And then he's thinking about playing the ball, but Van Dijk's recovery was a good one. And he just got in the way. I'm not sure why Sterling wants to look at the assistant referee, just play on. And he anticipates Van Dijk that the ball's going to be played square, and he made the run, and just as he's made his mind up to play it, he sees that Van Dijk's there. So good recovery run from the defender. Here's the foul, or it's touch and go. I'm not sure I would have given a foul for that.
But I guess we would have gone back to that.
Had to.
But he who hesitates is lost when you're one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And Raheem Sterling has turned himself into a prolific goal scorer, but he is not somebody who you would say a high percentage of taking that kind of chance.
Well, there's certain front players, and I think Agüero would be one of those for Man City, that when they get in those 1v1 situations you expect them to score. I'm not sure that's always the case when Sterling's going 1v1 against the goalkeeper.
But what you must say about him is he continually gets into those positions. He's hit the post with one that might have been ruled out. Rodri losing out to Firmino. Origi helping getting it away from Bernardo Silva. It's still very much game on at Wembley. 1-0 still, despite the number of chances. The one that Sterling did take. Van Dijk off the bar and onto the line, the closest that Liverpool have come. And a good second half from the Reds so far. But there have been scares at the other end.
There comes that big diagonal again.
Salah. Origi's in the central position at the moment. Firmino coming in from the left as they swap roles. Salah. Wijnaldum.
Just changed their shape, Man City, at the moment. Since Gündoğan's come on, they're playing with two holding midfield players, Rodri and Gündoğan. De Bruyne's playing in front of them and in behind Jesus.
Henderson. Origi. Now take it on the half turn. Jones has done well, but there's a little block on the clearance. It didn't go as far as he wanted. Liverpool's throw.
They're winning the ball back much quicker now, Liverpool. It's been a dynamic period in this second half.
Liverpool are getting Joël Matip and Naby Keïta ready. He's a competitor, Jürgen Klopp, and he won't want to maybe please the fitness coaches by taking off either Salah or Firmino. There are the two coming on. Wijnaldum. Gomez. The suggestion we're hearing is that Alexander-Arnold will go off for Matip, which will mean Gomez the right back, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And Keïta for Fabinho in midfield, but we'll see. They can still change their minds on that.
Could mean that either Wijnaldum or Henderson go back to the holding midfield role. Keïta, you'd imagine, will play further forward.
De Bruyne. City's best moments in the second half have been on the counter-attack. Gündoğan. And then colliding with De Bruyne. Salah still he looks very fit that week in Evian, plus the 30 minutes against Lyon. They've done him a power of good. As you say, it's not that long since he was playing in the Africa Cup of Nations. Here are the changes. Here's Matip for Alexander-Arnold. Had a difficult day, really.
It was actually made slightly easier for him by Sané going off when he did. Got him
which he was
3
responsible
times.
for unwittingly, but he was. Keïta has made a recovery from injury that blighted it at the end of last season.
Wijnaldum is the player that's going to play centrally now. Keïta to the left of him, Henderson to the right.
Zinchenko. You might see some mistakes made because this is a really fast 90 minutes on a big pitch at Wembley, and not everyone up to full speed. Free kick to Manchester City. A little bit more difficult to handle than maybe Martin Atkinson might have expected.
Just under-hit this pass by De Bruyne, but that's where the foul was committed rather than the next one. Van Dijk trying to make the challenge.
There is one amendment. You know, we saw Pep Guardiola get a yellow card. The manager is really responsible for the whole of the technical area, because if somebody else causes a problem and the referee doesn't know who it is, as Matip is finding it hard to adjust quickly against Gabriel Jesus, but does well enough in the end to get the free kick. But if it's a member of the backroom staff and they don't know which one it is, the manager gets the punishment. So they've got to be vigilant of their own staff as well. Here is Henderson. And now Salah. It's a good stop. That was going inside the post that he hit a few minutes ago, Mo Salah.
And
they deserve an equaliser, Liverpool.
They certainly do, and he hit this one with power. Zinchenko can't get tight. He actually goes between the legs of Zinchenko again, and that is a good save from Bravo. Everybody in the ground is expecting to bend it into the far corner, and he tries to go back at that near post.
Very good subsequent pass from the goalkeeper as well, out to Zinchenko. Gabriel Jesus for a moment thought he was offside. He wasn't too keen to go for it.
Well, that's a very tight call. He stopped there before the flag went up. He obviously thought he was offside. I would suggest he should chase after it and then worry about whether he's offside or not.
Maybe happy to have an excuse not to chase after it. Say he's only recently back in his endeavours for Brazil. Playing, of course, in the winter. I know it's warm in the daytime, but it is. It's quite odd. I think we found even covering the World Cup, Stuart, in Brazil and South Africa, going from the summer in Europe to 5 or 6 weeks in the winter, when the rest of our families are enjoying the summer back home.
Well, it depended what part of Brazil you were in, didn't it, really?
Oh, it was hot, but it was dark. Yeah. The daylight deprivation that the medics tell us is not good for us. That back pass, or that stray pass, not good for Manchester City.
You covered England in Manaus. That was particularly hot, wasn't it?
Manaus, which is now a derelict stadium, I'm told, or one that's not used for football. There's no football team in Manaus. They spent millions building that. Italy beat England there. In the soaring temperatures, of course, you're right to mention that, but it was warm in the evening as well, but it was dark at 5 o'clock. As opposed to here, where it'll be dark at 9 o'clock tonight.
The other extreme was Porto Alegre, which was freezing cold.
It was. As was Johannesburg 4 years earlier. But here's Salah, who's pretty hot in this game.
But he took a gamble there. Otamendi came out, threw himself into the challenge.
I feel there's another goal in this, but it could go at either end.
I never understand that. Everyone's saying the ball should be kicked out. It's not a head injury. He came across here. Salah's in behind Zinchenko, who just went to sleep. He went to try and press the ball, and there's no way he could get tight to it. And there's the challenge. He throws himself to the ground. Certainly no reason why Man City should stop playing there, because Henderson's the player that, if anything, committed the foul.
I think the players like it. You know, in the end, they think it's the sporting thing to do, because they're the ones that decide. Well, here's Adam Lallana, whose talent has been blighted by injuries for a couple of seasons now. Hoping to put together a run of form after a proper pre-season and get back in the team, maybe get back in the England team. Here is Sterling, who's very much in the England setup. De Bruyne can hit one if he chooses to do. In the end, widen the angle, and Alisson makes the save.
Well, he's got that free roll in behind Jesus now, Kevin De Bruyne. That's a good bit of play from him. Didn't quite get the power in that left foot strike.
Well, Keïta is almost bowled into trouble by that Alisson underarm delivery into his feet. Not yet attuned to the pace of the game. A bit like Matip a few minutes ago. But he was then fouled, then took the free kick with a moving ball, which is one of the laws that hasn't changed. You can't do it. Gomez.
I would suggest there hasn't ever been such a competitive Community Shield game as this one, in terms of the intensity of it.
Henderson. Just left it a bit too long to try and play Salah in. Sterling gets the better of him. Zinchenko. Henderson still doing those shuttle runs between player and player. Never anything but 100% from Jordan Henderson. Desperate to try and drive Liverpool towards at least a penalty shootout here.
Well, the Liverpool fans unhappy that the game is stopped. Well, they wanted it stopped when one of the Liverpool players was down.
Mikel Arteta still with Pep Guardiola. He was rumoured to be on the Newcastle managers list.
And the year before that, on Arsenal's list.
Yeah.
But we've seen the best of both sides, the way they want to play. In the first half, I thought Man City were the better side, dominating possession, looked threatening, creative. And in the second half, we've seen the pressing game from Liverpool, winning the ball back, playing at a high intensity, stopping City playing, but also playing well themselves.
The unattended drop ball. Liverpool can just play. Just behind Firmino, and Otamendi's in trouble. Zinchenko tucked in very responsibly. Firmino's eyes were lighting up. Origi. Rodri prevents the corner. Change of pace by De Bruyne. And again. Lovely play from the Belgian, but not such an assured touch from İlkay Gündoğan. Game stretched at the moment. 15 minutes to go. City still lead. Goal came early from Raheem Sterling. City edged the first half in more than just the scoreline, but Liverpool have come on strong since the break.
They certainly have. Trying to create a 2v1 down this near side against Zinchenko. Salah's gone infield, and allowing Gomez to come high and wide.
All those games that City played here last season and didn't concede a single goal. And here they are, 15 minutes away from another clean sheet, and if they get one, they'll get another trophy.
There's the tackle from behind, which you just can't make. That's why I always say teams have to change their tactics. The ball rolled into the penalty box with an attacker fake with his back to goal, with a defender behind him. It's such a dangerous pass now. Teams don't use it enough.
Henderson to take. Van Dijk, they're lining up in the middle, and it's headed in by Joël Matip. It's been coming. Reward for an excellent second half for Liverpool. Determination, overcoming some probable lack of fitness for some of the players. Matip brought on to help at the back.
Well, Van
really
Dijk
helps at the front.
Yeah, Van Dijk does really well here. He just lofts the ball back beyond the goalkeeper, beyond the centre halves, and there's Matip. Doesn't get excited, doesn't try and goal for goal himself. Just lifts it into that 6-yard box, knows the goalkeeper's at the near post. It's a brilliant pass from Van Dijk. It's the substitute Matip that heads it down. No chance for Bravo. But they deserve it. They've been much the better side in this second half.
And Liverpool had 3 players waiting to come on, but it's the one who come on a few minutes earlier who has the joy here of scoring at Wembley. Xherdan Shaquiri, Alex-Oxlade Chamberlain, Adam Lallana. So Firmino's race is run, but of course he had here 78 minutes. That'll help him for Friday. Almost ensure that he'll start in the Premier League. Oxlade Chamberlain with this excellent record in this competition with Arsenal, including scoring a winning goal in 2015. And he beat Manchester City with Arsenal in 2014. Lallana for Henderson. And Liverpool have got the bit between their teeth. Keïta. Led by Otamendi. Bernardo Silva continuing his duel with Robertson.
Well, they certainly look the more energetic in this second half.
The attendance announced at 77,565. I think they could only, with the way the game is stewarded here, 80,000 was the maximum, so we're pretty nearly there. And those who've come had a real contest to watch, and they're no nearer knowing which way it's going to fall at the end. Who's going to collect the shield? Zinchenko. Sterling. Flag is up.
Gündoğan, I think, is the player that was deemed offside there. Certainly hasn't had it his own way in this second half. He's just offside, Gündoğan, as he makes contact with the ball. He actually hasn't played particularly well since he's been on. He's controlled it a couple of times, had it pinched off him.
Salah's playing through the middle now. Shaquiri one option on the right.
So Oxlade Chamberlain's going to play down the left. Lallana's going to play as one of the 3 midfield players, but fairly well advanced.
Played in the holding role in midweek. Pep Guardiola's team couldn't hold on to a lead here. Fair-minded football man as he is, he probably would recognise that Liverpool's second half deserved a goal. Here is the scorer of it. It's rocking at the red end, isn't it?
Yeah, you can hear how much Liverpool want to win this game. Their supporters making a terrific amount of noise to our right.
Beautifully carved pass to Gomez from Van Dijk. We were just concerned about going onto the track there, understandably. It's a bit of an issue of what surrounds Premier League pitches and big stadia like this. A fair amount of artificial turf. When you're wearing studded boots, it's not too good. Here's Shaquiri. Nothing artificial about the match, though. Lallana. And the save from Bravo as Keïta came in.
And he gets the height wrong. It goes along the ground all that little bit higher. I don't think Bravo has a chance, but it's a nice height for him. He's going one way but can just stick out those hands. Well made by Liverpool again. This will give them a lot of confidence this second half.
Remember, the only other Wembley meeting between these two famous clubs ended in a penalty shootout, in which Manchester City won the League Cup some 3.5 years ago. Robertson. Oxlade Chamberlain. Gomez. Couldn't control the earlier one, but controlled that one well. Foot in by Bernardo Silva. Just Liverpool have got to make sure they keep the back door closed. Little intervention of the referee then. Atkinson.
This is another one of the law changes, isn't it?
It is.
It hits the referee. The game usually stops. But I always say, he's wearing yellow. He's quite easy to see. Really, Wijnaldum should be missing him out. Here's the chance again.
Yeah.
Bravo starts to go one way as he's moving across his goal, and it's a comfortable save in the end from him. It's the wrong height from Naby Keïta.
They thought there was the shield for Liverpool. Phil Foden. Despite Leroy Sané going off early, set you a little bit behind Liverpool on the use of the numbers of substitutes. Gündoğan on, Jesus on. And Foden about to join them. Lallana. Shaquiri. Gündoğan, that's probably the best pass he's played since he came on. De Bruyne. Going hard and low. Liverpool, though, not to be pegged back. They want to break forward again. Lallana at pace. Salah. Deflected. And Bravo was probably grateful to see that drop onto the top of the net rather into the back of it.
Well, there's only one way that Salah could go here, by the run that Lallana made. Lallana made a run outside. So as soon as he went infield, he was always going to try and get that shot away.
It has been a splendid game.
It's been a brilliant game.
We didn't really expect much less, to be honest, because of the backstory, if you like, between these two teams. A set piece to win it, maybe. That's what they're hoping. They're crowding Bravo. The wall needs to be longer. And De Bruyne doing the zone by the near post. Well, they were all back, Manchester City. So Gomez saw a run of Lallana. little bit out of their defensive shape, Liverpool, but they don't need to worry about that because they've got the ball back. And Salah's closing in again and testing Claudio Bravo again.
Gündoğan, again the player that gave it away. A bad area, he was moaning at Zinchenko. How many efforts is that Salah's had? One or two of the other players are a bit frustrated. They've made runs to try and get in behind Man City, and he's had the shot.
Well, City had a penalty shootout here last season for last season's League Cup, and they beat Chelsea. They also had a penalty shootout in their pre-season in Shanghai, and they lost it to Wolves. They might lose the game here because Salah's got his best chance. Very good smothering save by Bravo, who's out at him in a flash. It is a fight to the finish at Wembley. Gomez sorted his feet out in time.
Well, for once, Kevin De Bruyne didn't get his pass right. And a big area to hit that in. Foden still waiting on the side for Man City.
Good defending by Otamendi. Header from De Bruyne. Lovely drag back from Jesus. Oh, and there was not sure that De Bruyne would have got there. And he's cramped up now. There was a covering player in the shape of Matip, who had a bit of distance to make up, but he's got that long deceptive stride and might just have done it. But Claudio Bravo was off his line like a bullet here.
Oh, they were messing around with it here. Rodri got a poor touch. It's played to Salah, and he tries to lift it over. Bravo, as you said, was out so quickly. His awareness today has been brilliant, Bravo, both with his passing and also with his goalkeeping. Klopp and Guardiola having a real row here.
Kevin De Bruyne who's coming off for Phil Foden. Pre-season friendly. You're having a laugh. This has been for real.
Well, this has been as quick and as intense as any Premier League game you'll see next weekend.
The Premier League officials were out in China, and when Manchester City played a game against West Ham, they told me afterwards, from their experience, the officials, it was a 70% game. That's what pre-season is. This is a 100% game.
Absolutely. And the crowd that have turned up and had value for money here.
Matip. Zinchenko. Otamendi. We are in the 90th minute of regulation time. 4 minutes to be played, and the intensity that both teams are showing to look for a winning goal, you wouldn't rule it out. Here's City's turn. Jesus. No foul on Foden, who went down. Liverpool. Shaqiri. Well, Mo Salah has run down everything. It's a real tribute to his conditioning. Remember, he played 30 minutes of football pre-season, and he's into the 91st minute here, and there was no sign in that run, unlike, say, the one Kevin De Bruyne made a few minutes earlier, of any fallibility fitness-wise. He's ready to go against Norwich on Friday.
And once again, although he's not been at his very best, he's been Liverpool's biggest threat with that big diagonal over the top of Zinchenko. Every time that ball's been played, it looks as though Liverpool might get in or cause a problem.
Otamendi almost colliding with Rodri as they just were going for the same ball. Jesus. Sterling, good covering by Gomez. That impressive speed in action again.
It's a strange run from Sterling. He tried to stay on side before he needed to.
Foden for Sterling. Agüero a long way round here. And in the end, snuffed out by his old club.
Again, I don't think he got the ball out of his feet quite enough there. He created an opportunity for himself. He's been able to get the shot away that little bit quicker. And there's the man that got the equaliser. There's the ball from Van Dijk, and what a good one it was. Just using the inside of that right foot. And there's the header from Matip.
Firmino went down. Whether that would have been called a penalty, I'm not sure. Here's Salah, and Bravo started to come, and he's gone back. Can Salah set himself up here? He got a header to it. Oh, what a game, and what a moment that nearly decided it. Been helter-skelter. Kyle Walker.
And he does everything right, Salah, by coming in on his left foot, and then he tried to chop it back across Stones and the goalkeeper, and then the header.
That is extraordinary.
I think it sums up the game.
Full-blooded, full throttle. Still not finished. 90 seconds to go. And then penalties, unless. Matip is in there again. It's too deep, though, for Liverpool. Be returned by Salah, and sometimes they keep on going inside the far post, but that one didn't, and that's almost that for the regulation football, which has been of a fabulous order. Well, they are, you said right at the start, Stuart, maybe the top two club teams in the world.
At the moment, I think that can easily be the case. A lot of other clubs in Europe got their problems. Real Madrid certainly got problems. Barcelona, still question marks over them. And some of the bigger games they've played in Europe. Certainly no question marks over Liverpool in the Champions League. Certainly no question marks against Man City in domestic football.
Here's Lallana. Salah, Shaquiri. It wasn't the last dramatic moment. Shaquiri in a hurry to take the ball, and Martin Atkinson's going to add on time. Pep Guardiola knows his team are pretty lucky to be going to penalties.
Again, he tries to go in at that near post. Comfortable save for Bravo. He's made a lot of those.
We have a penalty shootout in the Community Shield. There have been a few fierce words on the touchline, but the friendship of the rivalry is shown on the final whistle. A tremendous game. Raheem Sterling scored early. Kyle Walker stopped Liverpool winning at the end after they had equalised through Joël Matip. But a real credit to what the Community Shield is all about. A lot of good money being raised for charity with this fixture, and an extraordinary amount of good football being played as well. 1-1, we go to penalties. Well, Stuart, it's been a pleasure to be here, that's for sure. And we talk about markers for the new season. It's obviously both teams have had their good moments and good spells in the game, but it's just the general level of entertainment and desire from these top players that whets the appetite for the new season.
Not just the desire and the intensity, it's also been the quality of the football as well. Both have shown their different styles. They don't do it in exactly the same way. Manchester City want to dominate possession and play through the opposition. Liverpool want to close down, win the ball back, play on the counter-attack at pace, play at that great pace. They were able to do that in the second half. They kept on winning the ball back in good areas. Man City really played on the counter-attack, which they don't always want to do. They weren't allowed to play out from the back. It was a great advert for the Premier League and these two managers in particular. Their styles of football came to the fore at some point in the game.
Well, penalties. You saw Riyad Mahrez, who's not involved in the game but is here with Manchester City, who missed that penalty, which looked fateful at the time at Anfield, which would have given City an away win. They've on ground where they've struggled to get away wins, but in the end they slugged it out really. And it didn't. He actually scored in the last game when they clinched the title from a very good free kick. But who are going to be the penalty takers here? Mo Salah would, you would expect, be on the list.
Well, they had their problems defensively in that first half. I thought they tried to hold a too high a line. They didn't see danger, Liverpool, particularly the full-backs. But it all changed in that second half because the closing down higher up the field was much better, and the midfield players were on the front foot, so the back four didn't have to do so much defending. They could see the picture much earlier.
Just to tell you that when they beat Chelsea here, wasn't it February, in the League Cup, the Carabao Cup final, Gündoğan, Agüero scored, Bernardo Silva scored and Sterling scored. That Leroy Sané, who was injured very early, he had a penalty saved. That was the day when Chelsea seemed to want to substitute their goalkeeper before the shootout, but didn't. And I'll give you another little bit of information, because I was at the shootout in Shanghai. Gündoğan saved. David Silva, who's gone off, saved. Danilo, who's not playing, scored. Alex Garcia, who came back into the squad, scored, but Lucas Nemecha, who's also been with them in the pre-season, his was saved, and Wolves scored all their penalties and they won that. So I don't know whether that tells us anything at all. It doesn't. It's another day, it's another shootout, and it's bags of drama to come with it.
Two different approaches from the coaches on the side. Pep Guardiola got his team in a huddle, gave them I imagine, excuse the pun, a pep talk. Liverpool very relaxed. They can be very happy with their second half performance.
Kyle Walker taking over the captaincy, and David Silva went off.
Well, when we were talking about future captains of Man City, we didn't mention Walker. I would have thought he would be a good candidate.
Yeah, experienced player, and but as I say, when Pep Guardiola says the players will decide, whether he meant they'll decide by their shows of leadership through the pre-season or whether they'll actually vote for it, wasn't quite clear. Of course, we have two ends to Wembley. One end is a Liverpool end and one end is the Manchester City end, and it's the Liverpool end where the penalties are going to be taken. Now, of course, we've got this also, the goalkeeping regulation has changed. 1 foot has to be on the line or directly above the line.
How you judge that would be very difficult.
And strangely, Stuart, I'm told from those in the know that it's to give the goalkeepers an advantage, because it cancels out what the lawmakers think is an advantage when you stutter in the run-up to take a penalty and score. I've not met a goalkeeper yet, and I've discussed it with a few, who thinks it's an advantage to be able to put 1 foot in front of the other, because you can only go one way if you push off, and it telegraphs it. Anyway, we'll see. Wembley awaits.
Shaquiri is the first player to come up for Liverpool. Hasn't been on the field that long.
Had half a chance at the end.
Well, Bravo's been magnificent for Man City. Don't suppose he's going to get too many chances this season with Edison.
No, he was the goalkeeper in the shootout against Wolves, and he saved a couple. So the start of the penalty shootout to determine the outcome of the Community Shield. 90 excellent minutes. Didn't bring a divide. This is how it will be settled. And first to step up is Xherdan Shaquiri, and he does the job for Liverpool.
Well, you won't get a better penalty than that. Dent with power into the corner. Bravo going the wrong way. There's another sub making his way forward here. And it's Gündoğan, who didn't play particularly well when he came on,
but has scored a penalty at this end of Wembley in a Champions League final for Borussia Dortmund against Bayern Munich. So he shouldn't be fazed, and he isn't. 1-1 in the shootout.
And he comes on a very big angle. He wraps his foot round it. Alisson goes the wrong way. Well, he'd gone the right way. It was a nice height for him.
Here is Wijnaldum. A little bit of gamesmanship. Bravo coming out and then going back on the line. Assistant watching closely. And he saves it. Bravo saves. And it turns Manchester City's way. Bravo.
Well, we talk about the height of penalties. So often that's the key. And it's a nice height for Bravo. He just gets that trailing hand on it. It's the top hand that makes the save in the end. It's too close to him. He might be trying to go down the middle.
Here's Bernardo Silva. Yes. So advantage now, Manchester City. Adam Lallana makes a long walk as we look at the successful spot kick from the Portugal international.
Yeah, he took it quite quickly as well, didn't he? Didn't really give Alisson too much time to think about it.
Players practice their penalties in training, but it's so impossible to replicate the walk forward at a full Wembley and the responsibility that this moment entails. Adam Lallana. Ooh, he was close.
And I go back to the point. If it's low, it's more difficult for the goalkeeper to save. He chooses the right way. He's got 1 foot on the line. It's that high, he just can't get to it.
Well, Phil Foden is no longer a boy doing a man's job. He's fully fledged in many ways. Test of his nerve, and he passes the test with flying colours. Still advantage Manchester City.
But at the moment, Alisson hasn't chosen the right way on any of the penalties. Good one from Phil Foden.
Here's the man with the Community Shield pedigree. 3 times the winner with Arsenal, Alex-Oxlade Chamberlain.
And probably in all those 3 games he played different positions. Wing back, central midfield, right winger.
Here goes the Ox. He fires it into the roof of the net. So they're not yet there, Manchester City.
Most of the players have actually wrapped their foot round it and hit it into the opposite corner rather than passing it into the other side. So they've played across their front foot. I think nearly every penalty's been that way.
Oleksandr Zinchenko. They've been 100% Manchester City so far. And Alisson go the right way this time. He did, but he couldn't keep it out.
It's another penalty that goes across the standing foot. It's a nice height for the goalkeeper. I think he'd be disappointed he doesn't make the save here. We should save that, Alisson. It's a big, big chance for the goalkeeper to save that.
But if Mo Salah fails here, it's City's shield. Had mixed fortunes with his penalties in Liverpool colours. Here he comes, and here he scores, and Liverpool are still alive, but it might not be for much longer.
That's the first one, I think, that's being placed the opposite side to the standing foot. Puts his foot right behind it, no chance for Bravo.
Well, the chance to win it for Manchester City is handed to Gabriel Jesus.
And I don't think he played the game with great confidence, Jesus.
Is this the winning moment? It is! Here they go again, Manchester City on the trophy trail right from the off. Tough on Liverpool, who pushed them all the way. But City's record at Wembley continues apace. They had a pretty harrowing last half an hour of the game, in which they lost their lead, but they kept their nerve, Stuart, and their penalties were faultless.
And you have to say that Bravo had a magnificent game all round. He saved the one penalty that was saved, passing out from the back, made a lot of saves in that second half, as well as 2 or 3 in the first half. He was brilliant, and good to see him back. He had a terrible first season at Manchester City, then he got himself injured, but he's shown that he is a top quality goalkeeper. Not everybody believes that in England.
Pep Guardiola invariably has words with opposing players at the end of games, usually when he's won the games, and usually he does win. But there's a lot of good spirit between these two clubs.
And respect, I would say.
Yes, and rightly so. They're at the top of the tree, but there could be only one winner today, and this was the moment that decided it. A bit of cheek about it as well.
Lack of confidence, did I say, throughout the game? Certainly not on that occasion. Not that good a penalty in terms of where it went, but that slight stutter just stopped Alisson in his tracks.
Well, Brazilian against Brazilian to decide it. As the top two in England have been at it full on. And that Wijnaldum penalty that was saved in the end, and Gabriel Jesus wrapping it up, were the deciding moments. He's still on his tour of the opposition. And we will see them head-to-head in the Premier League. Can't wait for that. And maybe, you never know, in other competitions as well. But Liverpool, unlucky losers.
But I don't think they'd be disappointed with the game itself.
In the way, you can say they don't lose the game. It's finished level, hasn't it?
Yeah. They're disappointed they haven't got the trophy, but they'll be very pleased with their second half performance. They'll take a lot of confidence from that, as they outplayed Man City in that second half. They stopped them playing out from the back, they stopped them dominating possession, and they created chance after chance themselves.
So 3.5 years on from the League Cup final, which City took that trophy from Jürgen Klopp as well via a penalty shootout. Gone the same way again here. And I think it's fair to say, Stuart, that neither side deserved to lose over 90 minutes. City had the better of the first half. Possibly if you'd scored it on a points decision, taking an analogy from boxing, you might have given it to Liverpool because they came on strong at the end. But in the end, they couldn't find that winning goal. That Kyle Walker clearance was, well, the margin in the end that got Manchester City the chance to go over the line from the shootout.
Well, there was a couple of pre-season games.
That was probably the weakest penalty, wasn't Zinchenko's penalty.
Yeah.
And but it found its target, the back of the Liverpool net.
Well, there were one or two people that were saying, how would Liverpool start the season after they lost to Napoli in a pre-season friendly comfortably, after Sporting Club de Portugal got a 2-2 draw with them, and they looked vulnerable whenever they were
Dortmund as well, didn't they?
Lost to Dortmund.
Yeah.
You know, what's gone wrong with Liverpool? Well, we saw today that they're still going to be fighting on all fronts.
But it is an extraordinary sequence. The Formidables which is a nickname they have coined for themselves. I have to say I would like to have thought of it, but I certainly didn't. For the 4 trophies, which obviously includes the Premier League, the League Cup, the FA Cup, but also the Community Shield from last season. So it's never easy to retain a trophy, and this one in particular, because you have to be on the honours roll from the previous season to even be in it. But that's the look of a young man who doesn't like losing, and Liverpool have to take this one on the chin. But Stuart, I think you're absolutely right to say in the performance there's nothing to be ashamed of, and in fact plenty to be pleased with.
And before the game we were talking about how some of the pre-season games I've seen, some of the games you've seen, have been of the highest quality and really of great, I've said it many times, intensity. This was a perfect example.
And also the expressions at the end. I mean, you know, if you lose, Manchester City lost to Wolves for that the Asia Trophy, which is a nice trophy run by the Premier League. It's into its 9th. That was its 9th staging, and some big clubs have won it. Chelsea have won it twice. City themselves have won it a couple of times. Arsenal have won it, and they lost to Wolves. But there wasn't the disappointment on the City faces that evening that there is on the Liverpool faces here today.
Well, I think Man City still want to stay one step ahead of Liverpool, and Liverpool are desperate to catch them up. And this would have been a good guide of where they were, and I think we know exactly where they are, neck and neck for that Premier League title.
Well, they're leaving, but they've got Anfield Friday night to look forward to. Liverpool start yet another tilt at the Premier League, a trophy they've never won. They came so close last season. And Jürgen Klopp must think, well, I'm doing a pretty good job as a Liverpool manager. Why on earth did my time have to coincide with Pep Guardiola?
I think I said the same at Dortmund as well for a little while.
Yeah. It was interesting yesterday, of course, and Liverpool only in this competition of the league runners-up because City did the double. Bayern Munich did the double in Germany last season. Dortmund were the runners-up in the league, but they won in the equivalent of the Community Shield, the German Super Cup, yesterday. But Bayern's pursuit of Leroy Sané might have taken a bit of a hit with Sané's injury today.
Well, I hope he stays.
Kyle Walker explaining how he got it off the line. With John Stones, who was the player who got it off the line in the league game at the a.e.t. Last season at such an important moment.
Well, the officials just starting to go up to get their
now,
awards.
here's a question for you. Do the VAR officials get medals?
No, I don't think they do.
No?
Certainly not. They're not going to be presented with medals, I wouldn't think.
No.
But they may get them at another point.
Yes. At a later date.
Would you give them a medal?
Oh, for sure. They've worked the game, haven't they?
Yep.
Yeah. So then I'm a naturally generous soul.
I'll take your word.
If you don't know by now, you never will. But the officials making their way up, and Martin Atkinson is still very much at the top of his trade, and he has a calming demeanour. And I spoke to him when we were out in China about VAR, and he said that he made one really big mistake in the Merseyside derby. He would have loved, still keeps him awake at night. Red card for Jack Rodwell that got rescinded. Here he is, the man we're talking about, going up to get his medal now. We can see it on the big screens. You can't see it on your screen. But he said, if one moment, if I'm spared that one moment, if my colleagues are spared that one moment, and that big decision, it changed the course of history. The red card was rescinded, and it was in a very big game. So we hope that the big calls have got right. I think they have been today. And wish the officials luck with their season, and we do the players, and indeed the viewers, because we love having you. We can't manage without you. Liverpool fans will be just a little bit crestfallen with the result, but maybe not with the performance. The same applies to Jürgen Klopp, I'm sure. Joël Matip, who got that equaliser, but in the end took it to penalties. 90 minutes for Mo Salah is very good news for Liverpool.
And he certainly didn't look tired, he certainly didn't look unfit. Take his chances that he had.
Just the opposite, really.
Yeah. Full of energy, looked a real threat in behind Zinchenko.
Keep yourself in, yeah.
Well, the European kings of last season still can't quite find the dagger to drive into the hearts of their English rivals and stop them in their tracks. But they've given plenty here. There's Greg Clark, Chairman of the Football Association, giving out the medals. In fact, Ray Clements with the handshake playing his part in that as well. On the right, Greg Clark, Mike Summerby, the ambassador from Manchester City. It's great that the former players, the legends at the club, are often around the place now. It's really good to see them.
Well, for the younger viewers, Ray Clements was the goalkeeper at Liverpool in their glory days.
Yes, yeah.
England goalkeeper as well. Went to Tottenham after Liverpool. Had success there in a couple of cups as well.
These are the successful players today. I'm sure as soon as he gets in the dressing room, the thoughts will start turning to Friday night. Who's fit and who's ready?
Won't be an easy game against Norwich. Premier League newcomers, promoted last season. They'll be full of enthusiasm and endeavour.
Now this is a mighty trophy. Was first played for back in 1908. Won then by Manchester United. Have won it plenty of times since. This a club from the other part of town that have won it today and retained it.
Wasn't it a competition where Pat Jennings scored, the goalkeeper scored?
Yes, that was the Charity Shield at Old Trafford for Tottenham. I think that was in the time they shared the shield. Finished 3-3.
Alex Stepney, I think, was the goalkeeper.
He'll thank everyone for you reminding them of that, but I think you're right. Next year he was the goalkeeper when they won the European Cup, so it was a very good game at the old Wembley. Claudio Bravo has had a very good game today.
Got a lot of stick, didn't he, in that first season?
I think we've seen why Pep Guardiola wanted him with his qualities today, both as a goalkeeper but as the distributor from the back as well. Nothing seems to faze him.
If you have a bad start as a goalkeeper, then everybody keeps reiterating your mistakes, keeps showing them over and over again. He tried to come for crosses and flapped a bit. He gave the ball away when he was trying to play it from the back. And he certainly lost his confidence.
I did mention at the start in passing that Henderson didn't play in the Community Shield last season, got himself very close to the trophy for the photographs. I see he's poised again at the bottom of the steps. And well, Jürgen Klopp went up. Pep Guardiola has this philosophy that unless all his staff can go up, he won't. Henderson is leading the way. Well played, Manchester City. But it was tight, as a penalty shootout win usually says it is.
I think Rodri will know, the holding midfielder, the new player for Man City, that it's going to be a tough season. It's going to be put under a lot of pressure. He has to take his time on the ball and just stroke it from one side of the field to the other. Jorginho found that out for Chelsea last time out.
Well, all the talk about the captaincy of Manchester City. No Vincent Kompany, the man who's held so many trophies aloft for the club. Who is going to do the honour here? Pep Guardiola leaves it to the players. David Silva started the game as captain. Kevin De Bruyne is saying, come on. To last season at the club, it's a good way to start it. The little man with a big shield, and City are on the domestic roll of honour yet again. They're on the Wembley roll of honour yet again. Sergio Agüero playing his part too. They have retained the Community Shield. Happiness is Manchester City blue at Wembley. The modest manager, the retro shirts for the 125th anniversary, reminding the older City fans of the days when they were winners. With the Mike Summerby, who's up there in the presentation, and the team that won the old First Division champions of England, the FA Cup, Cup Winners' Cup as well. This is some Manchester City setup. They've had a golden past at times. It's almost platinum these days, isn't it? And who's going to stop them? Liverpool, for all their best efforts, haven't managed to do it today. And boy, they tried hard. Stuart, they play under the expectation for Manchester City's players is enormous, isn't it? I mean, if they drop a point, it's a story.
Well, every team is trying to find a way to beat them. Every time they go away from home, it's going to be one of the biggest crowds that they're going to play in front of, that the home crowd are going to have. They're going to try and find any way they can to beat Man City. Getting balls into the box, playing a high pressing game, dropping off deep. And Man City keep having to find a way to beat all these tactics, to beat all the endeavour of the opposition. And over the last 2 years, they've done exactly that, and I can't see any reason why it's going to change.
Yes, Pep Guardiola was a bit upset with the suggestion from Liverpool that it's fantasy money and they can do what they like. Liverpool haven't been short of spending power of their own, but it does undervalue the tactical approach. And yes, they've got a lot of very, very good players. You would say some of the best players in the world. But you can't just do that and put them out there and expect to win the way they keep winning.
I also think that the wage bill was higher at Liverpool in one stat that I saw than it was at Manchester City. So something they can't really aim Manchester City. But it is down a lot of it to the coach and his tactics, his game understanding, the way he gets his players to play. He knows exactly what they should be doing with and without the ball, even though they're very talented players. He doesn't just let them play with freedom. He knows exactly what he wants. He gets them to play his style of football, and they do it very well.
Well, they did it very well in the first half here today, but not so well in the second. You have to be Liverpool really to maybe give a clue to other clubs whether they'll be as good as Liverpool were in that last half an hour. Lessons might be drawn as to... But it is a Liverpool that pretty much in the end, apart from Sadio Mane, were drawing on a strong setup, a strong lineup today. And Manchester City having to learn for life without Vincent Kompany and without Aymeric Laporte. Don't underestimate the part he played last season.
But there's going to be very few teams that go up against Man City and press in the same manner and have the confidence to go and press the ball like Liverpool do. Most teams under the top 3 or 4 are going to drop off, try and remain compact, try and stop Man City playing through them. But it's very difficult then to counter-attack. So there's going to be some easy days as well for Man City if they get an early goal and the opposition then can't come out and play.
And they start away to West Ham, who they've just played in China, and with jet lag they beat them 4-1. But today it's about Wembley, it's about the Community Shield. And after a captivating 90 minutes, Raheem Sterling scoring early for City, Joël Matip equalising latish on for Liverpool. It went to penalties, and in the shootout, it was Manchester City's day. It's Manchester City's Community Shield again.
Well, we didn't have a right to expect a game as good as that in the Community Shield. It had the intensity at times of a Premier League game, and these two will go head-to-head again for that title, surely. Can Liverpool get close enough? They got very close today, but in the end, rather like in that League Cup final 3 seasons ago, it was Manchester City on penalties. Similar pattern to the game as well, because Liverpool equalised late in that game as well, but City prevailing. Claudio Bravo ended up being the hero. And of course, there are huge challenges to come down the line for both of these clubs, but it's great for them to have that bit of silverware already in the cabinet for this season. Not a triumphant day for Pep Guardiola, not in terms of the way they played in the second half, but still a day of triumph in terms of another win here at Wembley for Manchester City. It is a very, very nice habit to get into. Well, Kyle Walker was one of the second half heroes. Let's remind ourselves. Take a look at the highlights of the 2019 Community Shield. Well, Manchester City grabbed the lead. 12 minutes in, David Silva's flick, Raheem Sterling making it 1-0. Beautifully worked as they spread the play out wide. And it was the flick from Silva that makes the goal. Great contribution from De Bruyne as well, but look at that, on a plate for Sterling. So that was 1-0 to Manchester City. And then Liverpool started to respond. Good turn here from Mo Salah. And he burst around Zinchenko and hit the outside of that near post. A sign, though, that Liverpool were ready to respond. Just couldn't thread it inside the post. And then in the second half, the corner swung in. Van Dijk with that scooped half volley, and it just stayed out. Tiny, tiny margins. Liverpool thought it was in, but we have the technology now to show that it just wasn't. Some of the ball over the line, but not all of it. Liverpool felt it wasn't going to be their day at that point. Well, soon afterwards, Salah with the shot, and off the post again. Desperately close again, Bravo beaten that time, but as Liverpool pushed, Manchester City able to counter-attack, and Raheem Sterling should have won it for them in normal time. He had passes on. Walker, who'd played him in, was there to his left, but in the end he was caught in 3 or 4 minds here and not able to finish, so Liverpool still very much in it. Just lost his footing almost, and Liverpool made him pay. Van Dijk retrieving it. Joël Matip heading home. Certainly an equaliser that they deserved. Very well taken by Matip. And then Liverpool felt that they could go on to win it here. It was all them at this point. Shaqiri's ball in. And Keïta. And Bravo springing to make the save. And they would come even closer than that. Salah through. Great response this from Salah after the Bravo save with the header. It was going in, and somehow Kyle Walker managed to get it away from goal. Astonishing goal line clearance. Great athleticism. And that kept Manchester City in it. All the momentum was with Liverpool, but in the shootout, Wijnaldum, saved by Bravo. Good stop. Everyone else scored until Gabriel Jesus slotted it past Alisson. And there was the win for Manchester City on penalties. 1-1 in normal time. City win it on pens. So the full-time stats look like this, and look at Liverpool's second half dominance. 17 shots, 9 on target to Manchester City's 3 in the end, 7 corners to 2. Liverpool pushed and pushed, and they overturned that possession statistic as well. It was 42 in the first half, 53 at the end, but none of that mattered in the end. Mohamed Salah didn't manage a goal, but 10 shots. What an involvement he had. 4 of those on target and 96% pass completion rates. Kevin De Bruyne, 1 shot. That was on target, no goal, but he did have that crucial role to play in Raheem Sterling's opening goal. And likewise for Virgil van Dijk, involved in Matip's equalising goal. 82 total passes, 89% of those completed. Big season ahead for him. And Raheem Sterling got the opening goal. Might have got a second, should have got a second. 2 shots on target in the end. 79% pass completion rate. Well, he is a serial winner, and once again his team has won. The second half was very, very tough for Manchester City, but in the end they prevail on penalties and they win the 2019 Community Shield. Hope you enjoyed it. It was very enjoyable, and from all of us, bye-bye.